How you going? I'm Simon and I'm here at Macron Music. And I thought I'd show you today while I'm in the store how you can integrate your SPDSX with any V Drums kit. And today I'm using a TD30, so I'm going to show you how you can patch it in, connect it via Midi and audio, and some of the fun things you can do once you've got it hooked up like that. So come and check it out. Come a little bit closer. So here what I have is TD30 Brain. So this is our flagship kit, but you can do this with any of the V Drums kits. And I have an SPDSX on a stand above it. Now the SPDSX is our sample pad that lets you load your own sounds and integrate it with your setup. And what I have today is the audio out of the SPDSX, which is just stereo out. I'm just coming out of the headphone out actually. Stereo out with one lead into the mix in of the TD30. I'm doing that to make it simple. Of course, you can go out of the left and right outs of the SPDSX and into the mix in on the module, but I'm just making it simple via the headphone out. It also means then the main outs left and right are available for the front of house, so I can run it out to the PA system, which is really good, so they have control of the sound. So what I have is audio is linked out of the SPSX into the TD30, and I can control it with the mix in knob on the module here. And I also have, this is the important thing, a Midi out connected from the modules Midi out to the Midi in of the SPDSX. Now that allows me to do two things. Firstly, when I change patches on the TD30, it switches patches on the SPDSX. So in the middle of a gig, when I change songs, I just hit the button and they change in unison, which is the first great thing. That's just using Midi patch changing, which is just a standard feature of Midi. So it's just one lead doing that. Out from the master, into the slave. The other thing I can do is, now that I've got them connected via Midi, I can actually trigger sounds from the SPDSX from the TD30. So for example, here I have a sample from a drummer called Thomas Harker, who's a fantastic drummer with his band Meshuggah. They did a track called Bleed, and I've actually taken the kick and the snare from that from the Superior Drummer Library, which he created, and I've put the kick on here and the snare on here on the sample pad, and then because I've got it connected to the V Drums kit, when I hit the kick, it triggers the sample from the SPDSX, and also the snare is triggering. So we're not hearing the TD30 at all here. I can blend some of these channels in if I want as well, which I'll do in the next little example. But in this example, I'm just using the sounds from the SPDSX. You can see here, bass drum, snare. I also have a complement of toms as well. You'll see that they're actually triggering from the SPDSX. So now when I play a groove, I have sounds from the SPDSX. So they're my sounds being triggered from the SPDSX. Pretty cool. So I can combine them like that. The output of the TD30 is outputting all of the sounds. So it's outputting the sound of the SPDSX and also the sound of the module into my PA system or into my recording setup. And I'm hearing the combination of the two. So even though it looks quite complex, it's a very simple thing to set up. The next thing I have here is in the air tonight. So this is a classic drum sound. I'm using a combination of sounds from the TD30 and from the SPDSX. So here it is. Again, I'm triggering toms. And all I've done is assign a MIDI note to the sounds on the pads. Maybe I should show you quickly how I do that. So if we just go into the module here, when I go into a section called control, you can ask these questions online too, absolutely no problem. But when I hit the MIDI button, when I hit a kick drum, it shows me which note I'm triggering, which is MIDI note 36. So all I have to do is make sure that the sample pad up here in the kit menu is also set to 36. So here it says MIDI note number 36, and here it says 36, and I just replicate that for each drum. So when I hit my snare, it now says 38, and I make sure that this pad is set to 38. So whichever sound I have loaded onto that pad will trigger from that pad on the V drums. So that's how you combine your SPDSX to do sample layering and to create something completely new with your V drums kit. There you go.